You ever notice how the way you play video games kind of reflects the way you approach life? In all seriousness, I'm not saying it's a one-to-one or anything like that, but there's something there. Like the guy who loots every single drawer in a game probably also overpacks for vacation. The person who skips every cutscene might be the same one who doesn't read the instructions when building IKEA furniture, just saying. Now, I'm not claiming to know anything, I just notice things and sometimes I talk about them. So today, I want to unpack a weird thought I had. How you do life might just mirror how you play games today. Now let's start with me. In games, I'm what you call a cautious adventurer. I explore a little, dip my toes into side quests, but I also keep checking the main story just to make sure I'm making progress. Even in a fantasy world, I'm like, okay, but what's the point here? And yeah, that's kind of how I treat life too. I'm always trying to balance having fun with doing something that matters. Like I'll play with my kids but still be thinking about work, or I'll take a weekend off and low-key feel guilty that I'm not being productive. It's that same inner voice from games. Shouldn't you be doing the main quest by now? While that just might be me, I could easily think of other types of players. For example, the achievement hunters. You ever play with someone who can move on until they 100% every single area? Doesn't matter if it's optional or hidden behind 3 puzzles and some weird side character in a cave. You better believe they're going to get that collectible no matter what, even if it literally does nothing to the gameplay. Now, in real life, these are probably what we want to call the planners, the perfectionists, the people who have a spreadsheet for their vacation and a backup itinerary for the backup itinerary. I'm not saying they're wrong. In fact, the world probably runs a lot better because of them, but they might also be missing out on those goofy, unscripted stuff because they're so focused on doing things right. Now, one of my all-time favorites is the chaos players, and they've got the people who treat every game like a playground. Will they follow the quest? Maybe. Will they throw cabbages at villagers first just to see what happens? Abso-freaking-lutely. Now, these guys are the same ones who randomly sign up for pottery classes on a Tuesday or decide to repaint their living room at like 2 in the morning. They chase that crazy curiosity of things, and sometimes it works out, and other times, not so much. But either way, they're living in the moment, and sometimes I wish I could do that more often than not. Now, sometimes I could also be what I call the min-maxers. And, you know, we don't just always play the game, we optimize the game. We'll restart it 15 times just to get the perfect stat build. We've watched like 4 guides before we've even finished the tutorial. Now, when it comes to life, they're the people who probably spend 3 days researching which air fryer to buy. Yeah, that's definitely me. They know all the pros and cons, and they're not making the wrong choice because they don't make wrong choices. But sometimes they forget to just enjoy the thing. Because you can't spreadsheet your way to happiness. Alright, that was a really lame joke, but sometimes when you're a dad, you kind of do dad jokes, and that was definitely one of those. Anyways, sometimes good enough is actually enough. So, what's the point behind all of this? I guess what I'm trying to say is the way you play games can tell you a lot about yourself. Not in some deep psychological way, but in a this is how I move through the world kind of way. Do you take your time? Do you rush to the end? Do you ignore the map and just vibe? Maybe that's how you approach relationships, or goals, or even parenting. And if you don't like the way you play, good news. Games let you try again. And so does life. But there's a twist. None of these styles are wrong. And that's the beauty of life and video games. You can be a completionist. You can be a chaos gremlin. You could be the main quest only speedrunner. Heck, you can change depending on the season you're in. There's no one right way to play. There's just your way. And maybe that's enough. So next time you boot up a game, pay attention to how you play. It might just show you something about yourself you didn't realize. Or maybe it'll just be fun. And honestly, that's a good enough reason for me.